So today, in the House State Affairs Committee, Barbara Ehardt stood up to put forward a resolution that would thank and recognize the bravery and the courage that the women's volleyball team at Boise State had when they were faced with being scheduled to compete against San Jose State, which had a biological male. Every time this team was scheduled to meet and play San Jose State, they forfeited the game. And they said, we are not going to put our women at risk by sending them out onto the court with a biological male there's tape out there that we've seen where we've seen biological male playing on women's volleyball teams. And one time, one of these people spiked the ball so hard it hit the player on the opposite side, who was a woman, and she has suffered brain injury from it. And so it's not, with the amount, the story, what's going on with the biological males in women's sports. It's completely unfair and it's dangerous. And so the BSU decided we're not going to play against San Jose State. And so they forfeited two regular season games. And then they even made a bolder, bigger, courageous decision. And Barbara Ehardt outlines that here.
Real integrity to me came when Boise State got to go to the Mountain West tournament. And at the Mountain West tournament, they beat Utah State in the first round, scheduled to play San Jose State. Now, if you understand sports, you understand this is their only path to the NCAAs. This is tournament. If they say no and they forfeit their game like they've done 2 other times, they don't have a chance. This is where real integrity came forward, and Boise State forfeited that game. We do have 2 Boise State representatives here, Mr. Chairman, and when we have the hearing, hopefully we would have the hearing committee. They may also want to say something. We're hoping to have a player or 2 here. Let me also just say, if you notice on here that we do take the time to call out the Mountain West. This should never have happened. Shame on the Mountain West for allowing this to happen and not changing their policies. Even bigger shame, we call out the NCAA, Charlie Baker, for allowing this to happen. It should never have happened.
That's right.
Their regressive policies are putting men in women's sports, men in single-sex spaces, and it's not right.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Look, I'm telling you, Coach Barbara Ehardt, Representative Ehardt, is like the definitive lawmaker in the country on this issue. She's a former Division I basketball coach herself. She talks about how Title IX changed her life, and she's been traveling the country with Riley Gaines and a whole group of people fighting on this issue. And we stand beside her on this one. This is truly, truly great. So again, the committee ended up printing this resolution, so it will come back for a hearing where people can testify for and against and all that stuff. But we expect this thing to sail through, hopefully. And if you notice during Brad Little's governor address, when he commented on the volleyball team, everybody stood up to clap except the few Democrats in the back. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre how that happens. Like, you can't stand up, and it's just these Democrats, man. They're just so, talk about a cult, right?